No,
So
I always say
Yeah.
I'm where I am because of education.
Mm.
I am now in the role that I am because of education. Welcome to another installment of Boss Beginnings with BI, where we have conversations that build the boss in you. In today's episode, I have got somebody in studio. Hello, Lawrence. How are you?
Hi, Wusi.
How are you?
Good, and you?
Good. Please don't be shy. This is home. This is how we roll here.
Fantastic.
We are just trying to build the next bosses.
Okay,
the bosses of the future with this podcast. Thank you very much for tuning in. Please do like, subscribe, and share our page with all your whole audience. So today we're speaking IT.
Yes, IT.
IT. So please introduce yourself. Who is Lawrence?
Lawrence. Okay, so my name is Lawrence Kanotsauka. And Lawrence is a simple person. So, like you said, we're having a conversation and so forth. Being an IT guy, I usually speak to computers. So that's essentially who I am. And I work for a company, a corporate here in South Africa. And in a nutshell, that's really who I am.
Okay. So because this is Boss Beginnings, we start at the beginning.
Yes.
What subjects did you take at school?
Yes.
And that eventually led to the career that you went into?
Okay, so my education was very interesting. You know, with school, in primary school, you don't choose what you're going to do. But when I got to high school, I actually chose a lot of sciences. So mathematics, I had 3 sciences. I had physics, chemistry, biology, and I also had maths. And I had 2 languages and so forth. So in total, I actually had 10 subjects.
Wow.
All in all. Mostly being science subjects.
And you were interested in science?
And I was. In fact, I ended up in IT, but initially I wanted to go into the medical field.
Okay, interesting.
Right. And this changed along the way when I then saw, wow, there's this thing called computers. And I found it fascinating.
When was this?
This was...
You don't have to hide your age, just give us timelines.
Timelines. So this was when I was actually just done with my A-levels because the system that I studied, we did O-levels, A-levels. So as soon as I wrote my A-levels, I came across this.
Which is the equivalent of what in South Africa?
So that would be, O-levels would be your grade 11.
Okay.
A-levels would be, if there was a grade 13, that's where it would be.
So where's the grade 12?
So the grade 12 is in between. The A-levels has got 2 years, what they call the lower 6 and then the upper 6.
Okay, let's start.
The lower 6 is
let's try to make it simple. Where did you study?
I studied in Zimbabwe.
Okay.
That's where I did my education.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think the equivalent of matric would be just after my O-level, the first year into my A-levels.
Okay, so though you went into the sciences and then you were like, okay, here's something interesting.
Yes.
Computers. So you wanted to go into that.
And then I forgot about the medical and I went into computers. And I did my own research. So I took the initiative. My parents didn't know much about it. So I took the initiative, did the research, went to relatives who were already using computers in the workspace. I mean, this is some time back, so computers were not a thing.
Yeah. Like now, every second household has got a computer.
Yeah, and then I found the college, and then I came to my parents and said, this is what I want to do.
And they were like, not shocked.
They were so shocked.
Yeah, like, but you wanted to do medicine.
Not only that, my results weren't even out for my A-levels. I had my O-levels. So by the time I got my A-levels, I'd already started college. But I was so sure this is what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
And I then did the diploma at the time, completed it in record time in a year.
Diploma in?
In software support.
Okay. This was back then?
This was back then, right. As soon as I completed that, I graduated top of my class.
Wow. You've always been clever one,
Not sure about clever part, but I graduated top of my class. And then the very next, I graduated on a Friday, the very next Tuesday, I think it is, the same college called me up and said, don't you want to come in for an interview?
To work for them. Wow.
Right.
Okay.
As
this is
a
great.
software support
Yeah.
engineer,
Mm.
which I did, and that's how my career took off.
Mm-hmm. So now, how long did this diploma take?
It was meant to be 2 years, but I
Mm-hmm.
did it in a year. Yeah.
Quota us, Lawrence, quota us, please. So you started working then for the college?
Yes, and some of my peers were now students, and I was now part of the staff members. Yeah.
So now let's talk during those days, right? Because this is a new career field. This is not a lot of people that are doing that. Are you getting paid well?
I must say, yes, I was getting paid well. Not only that, but the knowledge was very scarce at the time. And I got in just on time. So, when Windows was still coming into the fore.
Wow.
Many don't know that Windows came in later. There was something called MS-DOS before. So I was part of that and bringing it to the world, so to speak. And then I was still in Zim. And the college, then I continued to enhance myself, to study at the college. To the extent that I must say, I think I'm probably one of the few or first thereabout to complete a certification known as A+, N+ in IT, where I had to come to South Africa for training for it, and then actually implement it in Zimbabwe. So it didn't stop with me getting a job.
Yeah.
I continued to challenge myself. I continued to study further, enhance my studies.
I think
I was working.
So the past two guests that I've had in the studio speak about the same thing, about enhancing your skills, regardless of where you are in your career. I mean, this was very early on in your career that you saw it fit to pursue further.
And this was absolutely critical. And I think from an early age, I've always been sort of enthusiastic about be it studying or exploring new things.
Yeah.
And so when my subject selection was more than what I was required to do, I took on more. And this continued in my career. First job, I took on more. I rose through the ranks very quickly because my knowledge spectrum grew rapidly. And then it led me to the next job, where I went into teaching for a year.
For the same college?
It was now a private school.
Yeah.
So I was actually a teacher. I was right on the blackboard.
Wow.
For a year.
Okay. Tell us more about that.
So it was great. It was when I was expecting my first daughter. And I thought, this will be great because then I get time to spend with her.
Why? Was the IT more demanding than the teaching?
It was demanding. The teaching, you get like a month off after a few months. And I thought that would be great time to spend with the newborn, bond and that sort of thing. So I went into teaching. It was a private school. And I would teach grade 8 to matric equivalent. And that went quite well.
For how long did you do that? 1 year.
And then I think I got a bit bored because it was very repetitive.
Yeah, I can imagine.
And I wasn't, what I was used to, enhancing my career or knowledge to the extent that I expected to.
Yes.
So then I just thought, let me put myself out there. And that's when ABB called me for an interview. And this was at the age of, I think I was 23. And I was then employed by ABB in Bulawayo as a systems administrator.
This is still within the IT stream?
This is IT stream, systems administrator, where my previous knowledge and all the certifications and things that I'd gotten before, this is why ABB took me on. And within, 3-4 years, thereabout, I was then promoted to IT manager for ABB Zimbabwe.
Interesting.
Moved to Harare at the headquarters. And then continued to advance myself, continued to take on more. Then I got responsibility of Zambia office under ABB, Botswana office under ABB. And this was not something where I was being rewarded for it. It was just taking on extra.
Yeah.
Because I knew I had the capacity and the ability to take on. And then eventually what happened was I was then promoted to come to ABB South Africa. as an IT manager for smaller countries.
So smaller countries, you're talking SADC region?
SADC region, which was once known, it wasn't SADC then, but we used to have a cluster called Sub-Saharan Africa. And it was made up of 15 African countries, excluding South Africa. So I took care of all those. Pretty much on my own. Had some help here and there. So that's how I moved to Johannesburg. And then rose through the ranks until I was appointed around 2021 IS, or Information Systems Country Manager for South Africa and the cluster. And that's the position that I hold now, including Algeria as well. I'm responsible for.
So let's now talk to the layman. What is a normal day for an IT professional?
So it's a good question, but it's a big question. The reason being that information technology is really broad.
Yes, and I would want for us to go into those different broad categories, right? But for now, as an IS head of IS, what does your day look like? Except for the many meetings that you can have.
Yes, because look, at the moment I'm in senior management in the organization, and that requires a lot of meetings, strategic discussions, looking at the business, what we need to do in innovation, looking at the future, managing today the team, our services to our business, to our customers as well, because we serve our customers through our engineers, so we might make sure that our IT systems work and that we're not getting the system is offline kind of story. So we always strive for excellence in that department. So my job involves reviewing strategically where we're at as ABB South Africa. Where is the team, the people? Because the people are important. Where are they? In the different functions that I have under me, what are we busy with? What do we need to change? What do we need to reinforce to make things better? Our customers, who work in the business, the people who carry the laptops, cell phones, and so on. Our services hitting home. So are they getting value for money, if you like? Are they getting what they expect? We do a lot of analysis. So a typical day has got meetings, it's got analysis, it's got a lot of decision making.
Again, you are speaking to a layman. What do you mean by analysis? What are you analyzing?
And this is critical this is a good question, right? And it's critical in IT as a whole, regardless of which leg or which aspect of IT you're in. Data. We're always analyzing data. Data informs me of what's happening on the ground. I cannot be everywhere.
True.
So we've got things that monitor, we've got systems that monitor systems. We've got data that's being produced by our users, by our employees. And so this data we collect it, we put it in we analyze it in terms of cleaning it up, to see, depending on what we want to see. Maybe we want to see what sort of headphones you like, for example. So we will maybe send out a survey. That survey comes back in the form of data. We analyze the data. What are the employees saying? And then we make a decision on what sort of headphones make sense out in industry for an engineer who's working off-site, for example. And I'm just trying to simplify it as much as possible. But those are the set of analytics that we're doing. But we're not only doing for today. My job involves, I need to analyze things for the future as well. What are the things we need to do now to prepare us for 1 year down the line, 2 years, and so forth in the future, and so that we're ready, so that our people are ready in terms of skills, in terms of our capacity, so that we can support the business in the future.
Okay, I hear you. So we spoke about your career path, right? So now I'm fresh out of high school. I am interested in computers, but there's various, I would like to think, qualifications out there in the market that one can get into. I've heard about computer science. You spoke about information technology.
Yeah.
A lot of people are actually moving away from studying IT as we know IT to be.
Yeah.
Right? What's the best solution?
Yeah, that's also another big question from you. I think best solution, it's kind of, if I give you another example, it's like saying how long is a piece of string, right? Because it really depends. It depends a lot on circumstance. It depends a lot on the amount of research that one has done.
But okay, maybe let me stop you there.
Yes.
Before we go into the research element. Can I go into IT without formal qualification?
It is possible. It is possible. Because we have a lot of short courses now available to us. So if you look around, you will find a lot of material, a lot of courses that are available for us to do online, in colleges and so forth. But
by colleges, you mean TVET colleges?
There's TVET
because
colleges.
As you know, we've got an issue of space in universities now in South Africa.
Correct.
Yeah.
And online. Online has become so powerful. I'm not just saying this because I'm in information technology.
Yes.
But this is the reality of where we are in the world we live in. It's so powerful and very cost effective at times.
Yes.
Because you don't have to travel for lectures and so forth. You do it from where you are. So to answer your question, yes, you can. It is possible. And you can even become an expert in a certain area. The thing that you won't have, of course, is the formal education as a foundation. Okay? Which I would encourage, if you can get it, still get that. So you still can specialize in, say, digital marketing.
Yes.
And become very, very good at it. But imagine a situation, so your question, formal, informal. So there were two options here.
Yeah.
If you go for the one, formal only, it's great. But guess what? It's even better if you've got both.
Yeah.
And same, you go for informal because I don't have a great base. It's best if you have both.
Yeah.
So either way, strive to get both eventually.
So you can do it. So you can do the short course, get into the corporate.
Correct.
And then arm yourself with a formal degree.
Agreed.
Okay. Interesting. So we spoke then about the different categories in IS. I know that we will have more conversations because it's a field that I would like to think that is for the future.
Yes.
I don't even want to talk about the AI part of things today, right? I think I will invite you again because I don't want to over bombard our listeners with too much information. So let's start with the most basic IT in the form of, I think my cousin actually does, she's a software engineer. But I also know that this whole hype around big data, you spoke about data and how it helps with businesses to maybe make strategic decisions for that matter. Can you explain further on that? By this whole, it's a magic word actually, big data that's thrown everywhere when you're in lecture rooms, when you are watching any career podcasts. Big data, big data, big data. What is big data?
Yeah, so you're right. It is a big sort of subject. Technology on its own is a big subject. Data, even if we break down the different elements of IT. So on the data side, it does get a bit technical. There's big data and then you have your structured data. And your big data is your unstructured data, which could be pretty much anything that you can collect in terms of videos, voice, people talking. It could be things from sensors, whatever you call it. It comes in. So, for lack of a better word, they call it big data for some reason. But it's pretty much, in layman's term or simple terms, unstructured data. And having the ability to analyze that, to clean it up, and to put it into some sort of structure that we can analyze is a skill on its own. And then you've got structured data, which is data where, for example, if I'm buying something online, and then the website asks me, are you okay if we collect your data? That data is collecting my name, my surname is structured. So in other words, it's the same. My first name and last name, it collects from me, and it collects your first name and last name from me. So it's structured. So when you go to the database, it's going to show you first name, last name for all the people that have accepted that you collect their data. So it's nicely structured.
Even us that don't accept that they collect our data and busy bombarding us with those telemarketer calls. Woo!
Yeah, even those. And these are big topics. Right? And I'm trying to just simplify as much as possible. There is more academic definitions, if you like, but I don't think it's necessary to get into that. But this is.
But remember, our viewers vary in terms of levels, right? Yes. So it's okay to get into that, okay. Because we also want to educate with our podcast. We want to get people to understand the different field sides that is IT. I mean, like I said, when I was in high school, it was a big thing. Everybody had to or wanted to get into IT, not only because of the money, because everybody told us that they pay very well. Do they pay very well?
Also depends. Look, it depends on you.
Okay, say I'm a junior, and then middle, and then
look, it can experience. What I can say is that it can be very rewarding, but it's not like any other field. You need to get into something A, you enjoy, and then B, you need to be willing to put in the sweat and tears into it for you to be rewarded for it.
Yeah.
So yes, you can make a lot of money. The question is whether, as an individual, you're willing to go through the sweat and tears so that you add value. IT is about solving problems and value addition. On the one hand, you need to be a problem solver, because that's what technology does. It solves a problem. A car is a technology that solves the problem of mobility. Okay. Software solves one problem or the other. One could say TikTok solves the problem of boredom. Who knows?
Yeah,
you could argue this. You could argue these things, right? Who knows? So you need to be a problem solver. And if you enjoy solving problems, then for sure, IT is probably the place for you. On the other hand, you must add value in one way or the other. So not only are you getting rid of boredom with your TikTok, but you are also, in a way, getting something. So if you want to find out how to budget, how to create a CV, you could go to TikTok. And someone has spoken about it. So there's some form of value addition. This is debatable because there's other things that we get there that are undesirable. So yes, you can make the money. You have to be patient enough, gain the experience, and enhance your knowledge.
Okay. I know I'm putting you in a corner, but I think our listeners or our viewers like to know what we are talking about, right? There's a lady that I really, really like on TikTok that likes to talk salaries. In fact, she breaks down people's payslips. I think it's important. One thing I know, and I think I mentioned this in our very, very first episode, is that as much as we were told passion will pay you, we also need to be realistic. That some passions might not take you to where you want to be to live comfortably, especially in an economy in South Africa, right? So I need you to give me like just high level, 3 to 5 years experience. How much are we looking in IT?
Okay, so
and obviously it will differ.
It will differ per industry,
but like high level, what are we looking at? Okay,
so let's start even before that, if you don't mind. We can look at, say, intern, grad. That goes with the graduate program or the internship, which could be, who knows, 8,000 Rand, 10,000 Rand onwards. Plus or minus as a starting entry point. Some might even be a stipend, not necessarily like a salary if you like. And then your entry level per annum, or should we go per month? I'll have to do maths. You see, I'm not very good at maths. You see, that's the problem.
That was your thing.
But mathematics, that's the problem. But look, you're looking at like you said, it depends on industry and so on. But it could start from anything around 250,000 possible, maybe even on the 200,000, who knows, on the lower end. Depends size of the organization.
Yes.
So I mean, if
all
you're working
those other
for
factors, yes.
yeah, if you're working for an entrepreneur, then it might be way lower than that, right?
But let's
through to about 350.
We are talking about a multinational. No, not a multinational, just a national footprint company. About 500 employees.
I would say plus minus 200, all the way up to who knows, right? Just depends. 400 plus or minus thereabout, or even more. It also depends on what is the qualification.
Yes. That's where then the whole, do I have my short course versus do I have a university
degree, or do you have both? And also things like, what am I doing in IT? So if I'm highly specialized, I will be rewarded better than someone who's more of a generalist. Okay.
So highly specialized would be a cybersecurity expert?
Could be, yes. Those are good examples, right? A machine learning engineer in AI, an architect, an IT architect, for example. And it goes much more further, even much more specialized, to the extent that we have experts in firewall technology, but specific brands of firewall technology, which are very popular.
Yeah.
And they get rewarded very well because they are so good at it. If you look at some of the equipment we use, like Cisco and so forth, these individuals who are so good at Cisco that they work for Cisco itself, and they're rewarded accordingly because they even develop the equipment itself, not just know how to use it.
Yeah.
So the level of specialization also matters. And reward is given according to your knowledge and what you bring to the organization.
Would you say IT is still a scarce skill in South Africa, or is it the specialization that is now?
I think we've moved into the realm of the specialization. Technology, IT skills, I believe, they're still scarce to an extent, but when we speak of scarcity, I think it's specific skills that are really sought after, which are not readily available in the market. We have some fantastic things happening in the world. We've heard the topic of AI, which we'll delve into later in some other episode. We have other topics in different fields. So one thing about today's career is that the magic seems to happen where we blend two careers. So even as an IT, someone who studied IT, if you find yourself in the real estate space, the magic happens when you're able to take real estate principles, practices, problems, and solve them using the IT. So when you blend the two, medical, it's the doctors now that are starting to use robotics, for example, and AI to detect breast cancer. So they're blending, they're coming from the purely medical side, and they're starting to take technology to blend the two. And it seems the magic is happening where you blend two careers, with IT being one of them. 2 or 3 sometimes careers to do something on the technology in that profession. And
are you guys gonna be replaced by AI? Or you guys create the AI?
So the world is like where we're moving into, and I think we are really accelerating into the 5th industrial revolution. I think it's begun. Personal opinion, of course. But one, you have to be one of two in this. Think of it that way. It's either you are the consumer of AI or technology, or you are the creator of the technology or AI. And so one has an option. So even those that are in technology or in IT today, if they do not continue to improve themselves, to enhance themselves, they may find themselves on the other side of the spectrum where they are consumers of the
AI.
product. And where you really want to be is more on the creating the solutions, be an inventor, be the one who's innovating, be the one who's driving, the direction of that. So you might not be programming AI, this and that, but because you understand how it works in your space, in comms, how do you then influence what we develop using the AI? How do we make it work for us? Transport sector, whatever space. So it's not even limited to particular careers. The question is, can you leverage the AI? Can you learn enough about it for you to use it in your space? When studying, right, we have a lot of young people watching. When studying, it's not for AI to do my studying, for me to write my assignment. No, that's not going to help anybody. It's about how do I leverage AI to improve the quality of my thoughts and ideas and what I remember about the assignment. Not AI to do it for me. So that's the difference in thinking, where we need to now see how we're going to leverage it, whatever it is we're doing. How do we leverage this technology? What do I need to learn about it in order for me to know enough on what to do for it to help me in my day-to-day or whatever, my profession or whatever it is that I do.
Interesting, very interesting, because a lot of people just feel like their jobs are under threat because of AI and where we at, right? So as somebody who is in the field, I would like to think to some degree, what advice would you give to your 18-year-old self?
Yeah, so
coming out of this university, and here's all these many career options out there.
Yeah. Look, I think
still go into IT.
So my advice always to young people is, don't change your career path because you've watched this program or because of the hype. If you're passionate about industrial engineering or fashion and fabric, designing, whatever that career is, engineering, you know what, if that's your passion, that's fantastic. Go for it. If you're passionate about computers, go for it. But do not change your career because of what you've had. Only do that if you do your research and find that, maybe, the path I was going to take, that career is not going to last very long. It's not the best. Then yes, shift. Because there are some careers that are really becoming obsolete. And they are. And you need to research. So what I would tell my 18-year-old self is, pursue your passion. IT was my passion from the beginning, and I'm still there.
Pursue your passion. Lawrence, pursue your passion. And then makes me feel like I want to slit somebody's throat.
No, and then
our passion.
Do it right, but then blend technology into it. So that thing, because you want to do something you enjoy, the mistake you could make is then to not make sure that you've got the IT aspect and the technology aspect blended into it. That I feel is become necessary across all fields in whatever it is that you're doing. So it's not necessarily doing IT and being an IT, it's not for everybody. But in that thing that I do, you've got very beautiful shoes. If I'm making shoes, how do I incorporate the technology to help me with my designs? Okay, for better decision making, for me to understand my customers better, what they like, what their preferences are like, etc. That for me is much more value that you're getting out of IT, but every day you're doing exactly what you enjoy.
And I think the luxury of growing up now is because there's so much information out there, you just need to do your research, right? And it would be, I suppose, to my point about passion, a disservice to say that people must not follow their passion. Do what makes you happy, but you must also remember Boroto. There must be bread on the table, guys.
No,
there must be bread on the table. Because I was speaking to a colleague of ours last week, and he was telling me about his son who pursued photography. At 30, he still hasn't landed a job. He still stays at home, and he's, as the father, very, very frustrated. So that's where my conversation comes in about sometimes you also need to be fair with what the world needs now, right?
And that's justified. And let's talk about creativity and creative arts. And for sure, it's under threat. We've had technology companies in that space closing, not closing, maybe reducing. We had the Blackberries.
Yes.
We had the Kodaks losing their market share in terms of cameras, for example. Right now, there's an AI out called Seedance 2.0 that's just come out. Now you can create content on the fly. A few $100 and you've got a short movie with professional actors.
You got that, ne?
With professional actors.
You got that. Because then we're going to use that to create the next movie.
But the guys who are now producing short clips are people who have mastered or understand that they can leverage AI. So now it's no longer the traditional production. They're using that to produce quick content. To the extent that I can actually, maybe off the cuff, predict that even the making of music videos is going to change.
No, a lot of conversation has been happening around that. I mean, even music producers are complaining about AI. Now people just put a song together.
So it's not a question of people are going to lose the jobs to AI or to robots. People are going to lose their jobs to people that know or have AI blended with the career.
I don't want us to exhaust the AI topic because it's so vast and we need to dive deep into it, right? So, right now, you are senior in the field.
Yes.
What is your highest qualification? Education. Again, we want to make education fashionable, guys. We want to push you guys to go to school.
Absolutely important because for people to take you seriously, as much as you may know a lot, have informal training, but it's when you really bring out that piece of paper.
Yeah.
And it's not to say those who don't have it, there's anything wrong with it.
Yeah.
No. But
it does set you apart to some degree, if you're being honest, because even on job specs for any job, they will say a degree in
this.
Yes.
And one thing I've learned is that life is a numbers game. I don't know if you did probability at school.
I did.
And we don't like it. But it's a numbers game. It's about probability.
Yeah.
So it's about increasing your chances of being picked.
Yeah.
It's about increasing your chances of being successful at your career.
Yeah.
And what are those things that we know increase your chances?
Yep.
So we know that it's not guaranteed. If you have experience, it increases those chances. If you studied in the right field, it increases those chances. If you have a formal education, it increases those chances.
Nice. So I always say I am where I am because of education. I am now in the role that I am because of education.
So I preach education. And
what's
your question?
Qualification?
Okay, my qualification, I have a Master of Management in the field of digital business. From Wits University.
That's a good one. And obviously, this is a new field. No, it's a new degree.
It's fairly
new,
yeah, it's
right?
Fairly new.
So it means you have not stopped learning.
Definitely not. As I speak now, I'm busy doing a short course certification in AI. I've done others before. Yeah. And I continue to do that. So in between, I have an honors, I have a master's, and I have short courses.
Yes.
So it really sort of solidifies one's resume and credibility in the field.
So I think Lawrence is really running away from the money issue. So next time, when I invite you again, can we please look at the different streams in IT, the current packages out there in the market, in the South African market, because this is a field that a lot of kids are going into now, right? And they need to make the right decisions about where they want to go. If you want to end up as CIO, or if you're okay with just, because I mean, there's also specialization, like you said, right? So we're going to look at those specialities and more or less how much they will getting at the moment. You're happy
to do that. And we can also talk about what does that job do?
Yeah.
What is expected of them? You know, what sort of people tend to do them, and then that sort of thing. So yes, more than happy.
Because I've also realized that there's people who feel like they are more introverts and they don't necessarily want to manage people.
Yes.
So I also want us to look at how to pivot into management, because there's a lot of IT people. I mean, you have some people in your team who just don't deal with people. But how do you pivot into management and right? So I'd like for us to look into that next time.
That would be great insights.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for tuning in. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share our page with your friends. And we'll see you next time on Boss Beginnings with BI. Bye.